Moving on to new business. Item number 1 on the agenda is discussion on adding additional roads to the 2026 Roadway Improvement Project. Consider an appropriate motion for action. We have information in our packet relating to an upgrade in mill and overlay options for 3 of the road projects that are being considered. And we are considering tonight these options. These options include an 1.5" mill and an 1 3/4" mill and overlay at Marina Court, which is that cul-de-sac that leads off of Milwaukee Avenue into Marina Court condominiums. 1.5" mill and 1 3/4" overlay at Aber Drive from Milwaukee to 5th Street. And 1.5" mill and 1 3/4" overlay on Forest Lane, only the cul-de-sac portion or the roundabout end. In our packet, we just have this as a consideration. We want to make a motion to include the additional work into the road projects, or what would be our consideration for action tonight?
Yeah. I do have a question for Todd. One of the 3 streets, I own a property on that. Would that affect me voting on this?
You're not the only property owner on that street, I presume?
No?
No, it wouldn't.
Okay.
So on the estimate here in front of us from Wolf Paving, we have unit pricing and total pricing for each of these projects listed as change order 1.1, change order 1.2, and change order 1.3 for a grand total of $72,365.30. My question for the board and for President Jaski is, are these funds in our current budget for 2026?
You guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, if Rick is there, I think Rick can also explain a little bit to this, but yes, this is all covered in our yearly budget
Thank you.
for the roads.
You want to add commentary, Rick?
Even with this addition project added to it, it still brings us, I believe it was, I have my notes somewhere, lost it. I believe it's still $30,000 under budget.
Wonderful. Is it your opinion, as our DPW director, that we should take these change orders and upgrade that from what was planned to be chip seal or fog seal and increase it now to mill and overlay?
Correct. So the Forest Lane part, that section up there is really past chip sealing. So that's a good candidate up there. The other 2 was the project came in under budget, and there's no utilities, I believe there's 1 section of curb that needs to get repaired on one of the roads, but they're good candidates for,
And that's included
with the remaining budget numbers.
Question for you, Rick.
Yes.
Is this gonna have the same issues that Brittany had some thought brought to our attention?
This, what you're looking at right now is mill and overlay, it's pavement. It's not part of chip seal.
fresh pavement, no chip seal there.
So at $72,000, we're still under budget, we're doing away with the chip sealing, we're moving towards the mill and overlay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
We're still doing the chip seal.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just additional, the chip seal project came in under budget, so we still have road maintenance budget to
Okay.
use. So that's what we chose to do with that remaining balance.
Okay.
And will
If you all can hear me, I'll make a motion to add the additional roads to the 2026 Roadway Improvement Project that will keep us under budget.
I'll second.
The concerns were brought up earlier, will that be discussed with the project team on it?
So, yeah, the chip seal portion of it, we may look at, we have other samples out there of the same product with a different company. We should probably explore the fog seal, that's what is creating the issue right now, which is supposed to set the stones so that we didn't have them coming off. But this extreme heat, which is our, so she said it's heating up and becomes sticky. One of the other sample areas that we have done is little traffic areas, but we haven't noticed that. Or we eliminate fog seal in caustic areas when they're cleaning up the spring.
Okay, great. We have a motion and a second. I'd like to call for the vote. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any further discussion?
Did Pat say anything?
Pat said aye. Motion passes.
Thanks, Rick.
Thanks, Rick. Agenda item 2 tonight is a public hearing for the purpose of considering adoption of a resolution to discontinue and vacate a portion of Center Street south of Waterford Union High School. I would like to ask our village attorney, Todd Carey, to give us a description on the public hearing for our consideration.
Just for some background context, what comes before you under chapter 66, you have a platted roadway. It's a platted improved roadway, which is rather unusual. But here you have that roadway, at least a portion, sought to be vacated and discontinued, surrounded by a common owner, that being Waterford Union High School. In April, I think it was April 13th of this year, you guys approved the process to actually move forward with the resolution that's before you tonight. Publish notices, serve notice upon abutting property owners, which were all done here. The statutory parameters under chapter 66 are met here with this vacation if you elect to do so. And essentially you can't landlock a parcel, you can't restrict access. It does not do that because the vacation itself, essentially, it's not quite a square, but I don't know what feature it is and do real good in geometry, but it basically vacates that portion of Center Street and attaches it to the Waterford Union High School property. Again, it's based on my review, it's compliant with the statutes. Notice was served properly, notice was published. You do have an objection tonight by Mr. Meyer, an abutting property owner. That objection triggers a supermajority vote from this board. If you're going to approve it, a 2/3 vote based on that written objection, which was timely received. Have spoken with Mr. Meyer previously about this, or issues previously with notice that was provided. That matter was cured. He raises issues that are probably outside of what's before you tonight as far as vacating this public street. And are there issues in the future? I don't know. There's reference to a lawsuit. I have not seen that lawsuit. I don't know that the Waterford Union High School has as well. But from my standpoint, your focus has to be on whether or not this street vacation serves the public interest. Does it bring something and provide something to the public here as a whole? And that's what you're charged with, really, what you should be considering as part of this application. Again, it does require a 2/3 vote. And the effect, I probably said it before, but if there were two property owners adjacent to this vacated street, essentially it splits down the middle and attaches to either. But the fact that Waterford Union High School surrounds that portion to be vacated, and as I think you're all aware, this is essentially a dead end at this point anyhow. Those are your considerations for tonight. Mr. Meyer's objection notwithstanding, you should consider it, but it's a step in the process here. If there's objections as to building permits, encroachments and whatnot, that's really not what's before you tonight.
I'd like to just ask a question about the objection. I did notice in the objection Meyer, when he addressed us, he did state that there is an ongoing case at the Racine County Circuit Court with a case number. Has either the Waterford Union High School or the Village of Waterford been served with any sort of legal papers stating that there is a suit?
The village has not, as of today. I spoke with Superintendent Francois as well today, and I don't believe the school district has as well, or the Union High School.
There's been no service of notice of such a suit.
Correct.
I'll just add in here that when this case was considered, it was advantageous to our community to have Waterford Union High School continue being charged with providing amenities in the school and services in the school that required the expansion that we're going through. And I see this as a community benefit. This is how I view it. So the vacation of Center Street, in order for the project to continue, in my mind, is viewed as something that is advantageous for our community.
I would agree with that.
Does anyone else, Trustee Goldhammer or President Jaskey, have any comments?
No, I'm good.
I'm real short and sweet to it. I think we're tasked with looking out for the community as a whole. Mr. Meyer's concerns are all valid, and I do understand them and sympathize with them. But we are going through the process that we have to go through, and having a child in the high school, it is upon us to also look at the greater good of improving that school, and that is what is happening here. We are finally going to have a truly fire-suppressed building that we are sending 1,000 individuals into every day. We are going to have a proper loading dock, and these are all things that the community as a whole will benefit from. So I think you were spot on there, President Nash.
At this time, then, I'll close the public hearing, and I'll charge our board with taking a vote. This will be a roll call vote, Rachel.
Okay.
We do have to have a motion first. The motion before us would be to adopt Resolution 1046-060826 to discontinue and vacate portions of Center Street. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, Nash,
Aye.
Goldhammer,
Aye.
Holnow,
Aye.
Jaskey,
Aye.
McReynolds,
Aye.
Dunham,
Aye.
Todder,
Aye.
Motion passes. Moving on to item number 4 of tonight's agenda, discussion on resolution 1047-071326, resolution designating depositories and signers, consider appropriate motion for action. In the interim, with no administrator, we had other depositories and signers signed on that we made a resolution for in the past, and now we are moving in the direction of having an administrator take over those depositories and signers for the interim people.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 1047-071326.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Motion passes.
Adam's got a question.
President Nash, I hope it's okay to call you that this evening.
Sounds like a full call.
I had something that I wanted to add under when you were kind of going through the committee report, so I'm just asking if I can where we would make a motion to go in closed session, or when we get out of closed session if possible.
I think we could just put that before we go to item number 5. Comment away.
Okay.
He muted himself.
Audio over.
He muted himself.
Give us 1 second.
Can you unmute yourself?
Okay, sorry.
You'll have to start again.
We're good.
Okay. This kind of came about after the packet was set for last week, but I wanted to give an update on where we stand with the cooperative boundary plan. So, I just want to quickly run through a little bit of a list that I put together. I just wanted to update everybody that authorizing resolutions passed both the town and the village boards back in March of this year. Our municipal clerks completed the required agency notifications within the required state 5-day window after the board authorizations. Attorneys for both the village and the town have been briefed and are actively engaged in the process moving forward. Town Supervisor Tom Ogatrowski and myself will be representing the town respectively and the village respectively in the path forward to craft this plan. Together, we will draft and recommend the cooperative boundary plan to this board and the town board. The previous boundary plan that was worked on in the past will serve as a baseline for the new plan. The village's repeal of the 20-acre extraterritorial zoning requirement we did earlier this spring has received very favorable praise from town leadership and from county leadership, and will greatly help in negotiations on the new cooperative boundary plan moving forward. Myself and Supervisor Tom Ogatrowski will provide progress updates going forward at our monthly board meetings. We will continue to have open, transparent community engagement. We will continue to use a dedicated email address that was used in the past, waterfordboundaryplan@gmail.com. We will have community question and answer listening sessions like was done in the past. We will have a statutorily required joint public hearing per the state of Wisconsin when we get to that point. And we would like public comments from the board members and the town supervisors. So what that will mean is when I get back this week, I will send you all the documents from the past boundary plan and all of the attachments and maps and all the different legal documents that were crafted. And Tom will do the same to the town supervisors. And then we're going to give you to July 27th to review those and provide us back any input, suggestions, additions, changes, deletions for the first go around when Tom and I get together in early August to start the process. So that is the update. I know we authorized this in March, and it's been a while, but we have brought it back to the table, and we plan to move this forward at a pretty rapid speed and get this accomplished.
Thank you for that update. That's wonderful news.
Thank you.
Anybody have anything to add? All right, moving on to agenda item number 5. Consider a motion to convene into executive session pursuant to the Wisconsin State Statutes, section 19.85I for subsection C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercises responsibility. This This first discussion is on an FTEMS position. And furthermore, in executive session, we're going to consider a motion to convene into executive session pursuant to Wisconsin State Statute, section 19.85I, subsection E, for deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, negotiating a contract, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive bargaining reasons require a closed session, and pursuant to the 19I subsection E, we will be having discussion on the purchase of public property. So with that, we'll close the board meeting and go into executive session.
What, you need a motion?
We need a motion to go into
So
executive
moved.
session. A motion and a second. All in favor?
Oh, no, I'm gonna do roll
Roll
call.
call, please.
Okay, Nash,
Aye.
Goldhammer. Aye. Holnell,
Aye.
Jaskey,
Aye.
McReynolds,
Aye.
Dunham,
Aye.
Todrick.
Aye.
Okay, there you go.
Motion passes. We're in executive session. We're now in open session. Coming out of open session, we deliberated and had discussion following 19.85, chapter I, subsection E, the deliberation of public purchase of property. And this board has decided to table that conversation until our August meeting. Coming out of executive session pursuant to 19.85, section I, subsection C, the deliberation of hiring employment. I would like to make a motion. I would like to hear a motion, rather.
I would like to make a motion that, we increase Krista Lucero Neri, the critical care paramedic, from part-time to full-time.
I'll second it.
I have a motion and I have a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. I don't know if you heard Pat, Sarah, but Pat, aye.
Okay. Are you gonna make a formal motion to table, or just?
Did we make a formal motion to table? We need to have a motion to, I'll make a motion to table the purchase of public properties until our August board meeting.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
We're adjourned.
Hey, people.
Thank you.